thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's our
I get a
pleasure.
free coffee.
You get a free coffee.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So you've been coming here for you've been a regular for
I think from the beginning.
for 6 years
Yeah.
almost. So Charlotte is
Almost a year. Her
Almost a
birthday
year.
is September 26th.
okay.
Which is just amazing. I can't believe she's almost a year.
Did you have any expectations as far as being a mom?
Well, I don't even really remember life before I became a mom, so it's hard for me to kind of put my head and heart back in that space. Partly because I just am so overwhelmingly grateful to be a mom and also to be Charlotte's mom. We're so grateful to have my parents be really involved. My husband has 10 brothers and sisters, and he's really close to some of his sisters and brothers who I think are great parents who have some kids that are younger, some kids that are older, and we just have been so grateful to have people to turn to who we respect as parents to ask for their advice. And we have so much research now that says that 80% of our brains are built by the time we're 3. And our brains are built by the stimulation that we receive around us, particularly the words that we hear or don't hear. And so talking, reading, singing to our kids is really important. I know it's so important for her little brain so that she can grow up and dream and imagine and then become whatever she wants to be.
When did you start drinking coffee?
I started drinking coffee in 11th grade.
Okay.
A Starbucks moved between
We'll bleep that out, right?
Wow, it's a true
No,
story.
no.
It's a true story. A Starbucks moved literally between my high school and my ballet school. And then that was the beginning of kind of now my decades-long love affair with coffee.
And you've done some work in Haiti with coffee.
We have.
And I'd love to talk about that.
So I think something that I admit I didn't know until we got involved in Haiti is that at the beginning of the 20th century, half of the coffee consumed in the United States came from Haiti.
I didn't know that.
That Haiti was kind of the major exporter of coffee to the U.S. market. The Clinton Foundation started working in Haiti in 2009, so before the earthquake, trying to help the government develop markets for products that they were really investing in, like coffee. And then after the tragedy of the earthquake, we shifted into helping the government with its recovery and reconstruction. So we started working with the Haitian Coffee Academy and helped them expand what they were doing so that they were teaching people skills like roasting, so that more of the coffee economics, as they were looking to expand coffee growing, could stay in Haiti.
Sure.
More than 40% of the coffee farmers in our network are women, which is something that I'm really proud of. And one of the challenges with the first wave of the fair trade movement was that it was largely focused on whomever someone like you would have been buying the coffee from. But often that person would have been a middleman.
Right.
Even if a better price was being secured for export, that didn't necessarily mean that any of those economics were translating back to the farmers themselves, which is why it's so important to have an ecosystem approach to ensure that, as the price of coffee goes up or has gone up, that the farmers and the people actually growing and picking the coffee are benefiting just as much as anyone else in the value chain.
Yeah.
It's the 20th anniversary this month of my mom's speech in Beijing, when she said in September of 1995 that women's rights are human rights and human rights are women's rights, which shouldn't have been controversial then and certainly shouldn't be controversial now, but was seen as revolutionary then and is still not uncontroversial in much of the world today. Because while we have made significant progress on the rights and opportunities for girls and women, in no country, including our own, are girls and women equal to boys and men. And what we've been trying to do through No Ceilings is kind of to help make all of that tangible to people of kind of any age, both through data visualizations, but also just access to data, through sharing stories, of what it means when a woman farmer is compensated equally to a man farmer, and how she can then send her kids to school, and how that transforms not only her family's lives, but ultimately her country's. If we look at Nigeria, if we look at Kenya, if we look at countries that are incredibly entrepreneurial, so many of the most exciting entrepreneurs are women, or kind of they're companies where women are at least kind of driving partners and visionaries. And I hope that in the US we can learn from that kind of energy, but also kind of some of what we need to do to support women who want to be able to be both mothers and professionals and entrepreneurs.
I know that you do a lot of work with the banning of ivory and with elephants, and do you want to? I'd love to talk about that.
Absolutely.
Because I think just recently it was California. They passed AB 96,
which is awesome.
Which is fantastic.
We just need the governor to sign it now.
Right. How did you get involved with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think ivory and questions about elephant poaching are ones that everyone should pay attention to, regardless of whether or not someone shares or doesn't share our love of animals. Because the illegal ivory trade is now fueling some of the worst human rights abuses in the world. While kind of elephant conservation is certainly a kind of ecological challenge, it's also really a security challenge. And again, this goes back to our conversation about women and girls, because so many of the people that work in the tourism industry are women. So if you care about women's rights, or if you care about national security, you need to care about elephants and stopping the poaching crisis. It's one of the reasons why my mother and I got so engaged in this effort, because we believed we could help bring together these disparate partners, which we've now done, around trying to stop the killing of elephants, stop the trafficking of ivory, and stop the demand for ivory.
Is this your first book?
This is my first book.
This is your first book?
It's my first book.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wrote It's Your World because I just kept talking to kids who were so curious about the world around us, who wanted to know kind of what they could do to tackle issues that they already cared intensely about, whether in their neighborhoods or somewhere across the world. And when I was a kid, I read this book, 50 Simple Things Kids Can Do to Save the Earth, which had a profound impact on me, because it not only educated me about climate change and about pollution, but it empowered me to say, here's some practical things that, like you, little girl in Arkansas, can do to make a difference on these issues. So I hope that It's Your World has the same impact on even one kid somewhere in the world today.
So we have 5 Spitfire questions.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. First thought, best thought, right? Favorite part of the human face?
My daughter's face. Can I just say my daughter's face?
We'll take that. Can we take that?
Every part.
Can we take Charlotte's face?
The whole face. Everything about Charlotte's face. I don't know.
Okay.
That was, you said, the first thing that came to my mind.
That's
I saw
great.
her face in my head.
That is that's acceptable. We got thumbs up.
Okay.
Do you know how to tap dance? Because you said ballet.
Oh, I do know how to tap dance a little bit. Well, I knew how to tap dance like 25 years ago, so hopefully I would still do okay today.
I feel like it's right.
Okay, so then yes.
Okay. How many hats do you own?
Wow. Actual hats, like 2 or 3. Baseball caps, a lot of baseball caps.
I feel like that's a hat.
Okay, a lot of baseball caps.
Okay, a lot. If you could live anywhere in the world, this is probably a tough one, where would you live?
New York City.
Okay, good answer. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Okay. And the final question, the longest time you've gone without sleeping?
Ooh. I don't know, probably 2 days? 2 or 3 days? Like when I've been traveling?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Coffee? A lot of coffee.
Coffee and water in equal proportions.
Okay.
When I'm traveling, a lot, like particularly if I'm in Africa or Asia and I'm on a different time zone, like 1 cup of coffee and 1 glass of water.
Okay.
Works for me.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, that's that.
That's that. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thanks for my
Thank you so
coffee.
much. Oh, my pleasure. You want one for the road?
I would love one for the
Yeah?
road. Yeah.